Mike, what's up with today's SCPs and having words that are hard to pronounce? Weird hill to die on, but at least you're dead. Hashtag Acorn Fistillionaire grind set. So, okay, guys, another word I have no idea how to pronounce. Is that supposed to be like Stromatolite? Stromatolite. I guess I was right. Whoa.
Stromatolite.
Stromatolite.
Yeah.
Stromatolite.
Stromatolite. And what exact does it mean? Up Stromatolite. I'm out here to break Stromatolite down into sounds. Okay, yeah, sure, but what does it mean? I may be a scientist, but I'm also dumb. Layered rock. Stromatolite are living fossils and the oldest living life forms on our planet. The name derives from the Greek stroma, meaning mattress, and lithos, meaning rock. Stromatolite literally means layered rock. Okay, and the title is Stromatolite habitat. So layered rock habitat. Interesting. Let's go. Okay, object class, safe. Special containment procedures. SCP-2051 is surrounded by a 3-meter high chain link fence topped with barbed wire. Additionally, a 300-meter long concrete dam has been built across the entrance to the cove. Warning of a large Chironex fleckery. Box jellyfish population are to be posted around the fencing. What? Why are jellyfish involved in this? Security cameras are to be placed over 500 meters along the fence. 3 guards are to be posted to the site under the guise of Stromatolite research, and the guard barracks is to be disguised as an Australian Institute of Marine Science Research Station. Hey, Wimwan, we're in your country. Oh, by the way, guys, do you mind if I say stuff like that? Like, if you, I was like, oh, like when I said like, oh, you're from Australia, like, and then something like pops up that's from Australia, like, or should I keep my mouth shut? No, it's fine. Please dox me. Okay, I won't say it. I mean, you know what I'm gonna start doing? Whenever I see like a different country, I'm just gonna be like, hey, Vipon, it's your country. So now everybody's gonna be confused which country you're actually from. Like one moment it's gonna be like Australia, the next thing is gonna be it's gonna be Niger, then another one's gonna be Cuba, Canada, Greece, and I'm just gonna say that. I'm just gonna be like, it's your country, bro. From the motherland. It is fine though, generally. Okay, good. Let's double check. I mean, Howard has never told me where he's from, so I can't really do the same thing to him. One instance of -1 is to be kept alive on site in a 2-meter cube tank supplied with sufficient nutrition. See document 01 for nutrition guidelines. Civilians attempting to enter the site are to be tested for exposure to SCP-2051. If exposed, they are to be terminated. If uncontaminated, they are to be ejected with a warning and the threat of legal action if they return. Testing for SCP-2051 is forbidden. Yeah, just say, hey, that's where you are from for every single place that comes up. Yeah. Because the moon. This SCP is on the moon. Hey, Wimwan, it's where you're from. I'm from Wimwan's basement, of course. Of course. Description: SCP-2051 is a small cove, kilometers northeast of Sharks Bay, Australia. Humans who enter the water, complete submersion is required, become instances of -1. The next time an -1 instance enters a man-made body of water, including bathtubs, showers, swimming pools, and reservoirs, they will lose consciousness and rapidly transform into masses of skin tissue. Ew. Can you imagine like your loved one goes to take a bath, and you just walk in like, oh, I'm just to grab my hair comb, and you just look down into the bathtub and just this mass of skin tissue in the bathtub. You're like, oh! Stage 1 of the transformation is the loss of all external structures other than skin. Teeth, hair, and nails will slough off. A process which typically requires 10 to 15 minutes. Stage 2 is the loss of internal hard structures and organs. Bones will soften and undergo accelerated osteoporosis. Organs will revert to stem cells and then transform into human skin tissue. Dash 1 instances will then begin to respire through the skin. Brain cells will separate and distribute themselves evenly around the mass as nerve bundles. Research indicates that this arrangement permits the brain functions to be preserved and has recorded a high level of electrical activity from the nerve bundles. You basically, is that what the jellyfish part is? You basically become a jellyfish. Once the transformation is complete, Dash 1 is capable of one-way telepathic communication broadcasting all thoughts. These messages can be received by any individual within 3 to 4 meters. That would not be better if you walk in the bathroom and in the bathtub there's just this giant blob of mass, but it communicates to you telepathically like, honey, it's me. I'd be like, what? This, you know, remember how a bunch of like, there was like this whole like relationship trend where like the ladies asked their partners, like, would you love me if I was a worm? They should ask this one. Would you love me if I became a giant jellyfish-like mass in the bathtub that can communicate to you telepathically, and there's absolutely no indication that no hint of me physically left? I mean, at least you can talk, right? You can still communicate with them. When they become a worm, they're just worm. That's just a Tuesday. All that, yeah. Brain cells. Once the transformation is complete, Dash 1 is capable of one. Yep. These messages can be received by any individual. Yep. The process typically contains messages of extreme duress from the sensory deprivation, followed by depression and catatonia. No effort to contact Dash 1 instances has been successful. Would you love me if I was a concept? I'm pretty sure somebody would. You're silly, Vinmon. You already are a concept to me. Fully transformed Dash 1 instances require a nutrient-rich aquatic environment to survive. Starving instances rapidly auto-cannibalize. Okay. Discovery log. SCP-2051 was discovered after 6 students of University became Dash 1. Instances in a hotel in Sharks Bay, Australia. 2 students survived the encounter and were interviewed by Foundation agents at the health center. The students' first responders and medical staff were given Class A amnestics at the conclusion of initial containment, with the cover story of accidentally swimming among Chironex fleckery, which is the box jellyfish, I assume. Interviewed Angela Wong, Sarah Rogers. Interviewer Agent Bruce Wallace. I'm not going to try an Australian accent because I suck at it, so I'm going to leave it at that. Forward, Wong and Rogers were the survivors of SCP-2051's initial discovery. Begin log, Wallace, and you decide to go swimming in it? Even with all the rocks. Well, we didn't. I mean, some of us did. Most of us did. Will it be okay? We'll do everything we can. Why didn't you go swimming? Me and Angela decided to stay on the rocks, get some tanning in, you know, and Jack and Ethan convinced the others it'd be fun. You have to sniper for those 2 glasses. You gotta. No, I don't. I really do not know how to do an Australian accent. I had it once in my for like a sentence, and even though I hear a lot of Australian. Because I have an Australian friend, I still don't know how to duplicate it, and I'm embarrassed. It's just I don't want to do it. I don't. I can feel my face getting flushed. We'll do everything we can. When me and Angela decided to stay on the rocks, get some tanning in, you know, and Jack and Ethan convinced the others that it'd be fun. We weren't really into it, and nothing really happened while we were there. We decided to come back around sunset. The boys and Ruby and Charlie were pretty far out, so I walked into the water to call them back. I went into the water. At this point, Roger panics. The interview resumed after Rogers was calmed down several minutes later. What happened when you got back to the hotel? I was sharing a room with Willie, since everyone else was a couple. What are you talking about? You absolute dick. He took the second shower and I killed some time with the television. I hadn't eaten, so I went to buy some snacks at the supermarket. I was there about an hour. I'm not very decisive. I heard a thump after a minute while I was in there. Didn't think much of it. He didn't shower or anything. I got concerned a little later, around 15 minutes. I didn't think he'd take that long. I went in and he wasn't moving. There was no blood, but he wasn't moving. He was doubled over, but people can't. They can't bend that much. It was like all his bones gone. I touched his shoulder and he was like, it was like pressing raw cake batter. He didn't respond, so I called 112 on my mobile. Is that you guys' police number? He wasn't moving. Or was that the hospital? I think he was breathing. I was too afraid to check him again. I came back from the market and Angela was screaming about Willie. She was screaming about Willie. It's not a good sentence. I got real worried, so I went to check on Takeshi, but he locked the door for some reason. I couldn't get to him before the ambulance people arrived. Okay, that's the answer. The ambulance. I told them I couldn't get to Takeshi, and the hotel guy opened the door for them. He was all he was all goopy, not like the others. What about your other friends? I didn't see them. They didn't answer their phones. I told the man from the hotel. He worked with the paramedics, and he opened their doors. I saw Ruby and Ethan when they were wheeled out, but we thought, I could hear them. They were screaming. The EMTs heard it too. They were in the dark and they didn't say anything when we would try to talk to them. The EMT touched one. I don't know who. I couldn't tell. I couldn't tell my friends apart. He touched one and they were still screaming. They didn't respond. They just kept screaming. It only stopped when the ambulance took them away. And log 1 was given to Class A amnestics and released following containment of SB 2051. All right. Yeah, that's pretty messed up. That's pretty fucked to see your friends become goo. Not only that, but also hearing them, even though they don't have mouths, in your head screaming. It's pretty hardcore. It's pretty messed up. Wow, what an absolute disaster. For Vinvon's sake, tomorrow I will watch a bunch of Team Fortress 2 sniper videos again and try to emulate his voice, or Fuse from Apex Legends, which I again, I think, like, yeah, I used to like watch a bunch of, like, you know, like the introduction videos, and like I would watch like what's his name, Lazy Purple video of Team Fortress 2, and his sniper video was like one of my favorites. So I'm just gonna like watch that and just be like, okay, how do he's just gotta like slowly but surely become him. Next thing you know, I walk in here, I just become I imagine I just come in here, and I just became the sniper from Team Fortress 2. Sniping's a good job, mate. Oh, it's a good job, mate. The glasses take away, it's like